Welcome to the ManChild Chronicles takeover of Sports Locker Magazine's One Nation. Come join our special guests, Ryan, John, Mike, and Jay, as we talk entertainment, fatherhood, and sports. Please welcome our host, Kurt DeMars.
All right. Wow. I have never had an intro before, and I'm kind of liking it. So you know what, Jay Gill, we're going to have to create a new intro for me. That was just kind of exciting. You know, I felt excited to hear my name, all that cool stuff that Michael put in there. It's going to be a good night. I can tell you that already. So I'm not going to waste any more time with you guys just looking at my face here. I had an intro. I'm happy. I'm just going to bring these guys on here real quick. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight we have an amazing group of men, and it's called the ManChild Chronicles Podcast with, of course, we got Jay Gill up next to me up there. We've got right underneath me, John Gill, the younger but much taller brother. We've got in the middle, Ryan Olson. You may not recognize him, but he was the guy that was in the background of the intro. That's the guy. And then right to his left is Michael Glavin, and we've got all sorts of different places represented here. Why don't you guys go ahead and tell everybody where you're at? Jay, start with you. Boom. Microphone. Jay, we're not going to start with you. Let's go. Michael, where are you at?
I'm hailing from the great country of Texas this evening.
Right. Very good. Very good. Texas. What part of Texas?
I'm in the greater Austin area.
Okay. Everything's great down there. That's great.
Everything's great.
That's good. Yeah. Ryan, why don't you tell everybody where you're at?
I'm hailing from the Queen City, Springfield, Missouri, y'all.
Missouri represent. That's right. And then John, you're up a little bit north, aren't you?
I'm in the nice state of Wisconsin, located in Baraboo, Wisconsin.
All right.
Much better than Texas.
That will be definitely something that I think will be debatable. But Jay's in Colorado. Hopefully he's going to say hi sometime, but not right now. We'll have him come in anytime. Guys, we're going to get started, and he's calling. I don't know. He's calling. Look at the text. All right. Get my phone. Look at the text. But anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and get right in. I'm going to go ahead and ask some questions right away. Ryan, you guys are on the show. You've been on here many times before, but why don't you tell everybody how you guys know each other and why you got started with this podcast?
Well, we know each other. We all worked at the same place, me, Jay, and Michael. And, of course, Jay and John are brothers. And we've done a few things together. One big adventure we had, we went to a movie, but we talk often, normally through text, and we laugh it up quite a bit. So that's how we know each other, and we let the hilarity ensue. Well,
you guys have a pretty interesting podcast that you all put on. We're going to talk about that tonight, and you guys are going to do something pretty special on the program. You're going to actually have a draft in the second half of the program. So I'm excited about that. I got to hear what you guys have to say there. Michael, how did you guys come up with the name, the ManChild Podcast?
Well, there was this yearning in our souls to find a name that represented really the heart and the spirit of what we were discussing and what we were trying to talk about. And there was something just fitting about the term man-child, because we've all been called that at some point in our lives here. And so we decided just to make it a chronicling of the adventures of our man-childness, and therefore we landed on the ManChild Chronicles.
Well,
plus that name wasn't taken, so it worked out real well.
It was really because the name wasn't taken, but that was the long way around to say that. So
Jay,
hey, can you guys finally hear me?
Oh my goodness, we can hear you. Yeah, there you are. You are there.
You know what, Dad? For some reason, you said nope. I hear this guy every week. I'm just going to permanently put him on mute, and you shut me down. So definitely appreciate that.
What you don't know is that we're all interviewing for your position today. So,
Well, and real quick, I do have to say I did not do that. It actually said guest has muted themselves. So
Yeah,
I
I clicked the mute and unmute about 20 times, and it just
I know.
constantly said, "You
I'm
are
not saying it's
stuck
your
in the
fault.
green room."
I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying that's what my screen said. So
I'm
I
saying it's your fault.
apologize.
I'm
Okay,
saying
Yeah,
it's your
no.
fault.
Michael saying
These guys are pretty relentless. So here's the thing. I didn't get to just say where I'm from, Montrose, Colorado. Love hanging out with these guys. Some of our relationships go back 30 years, some 20, some a decade now. So we've known each other for a long time, and always love calling and talking about TV shows, movies, sports. Ryan is one of the best impersonators. He does impressions that I know. And so, yeah, when we had the idea of just doing a podcast and jumping in together, I was all in. Love hanging out with these guys.
that's awesome. Hey, we've got our first comment right here. It says Facebook user, but we know who this person is. It is your mother. John,
What's up,
this
Mama?
is your mom. She's on here.
Hi, mommy.
All right. We also see some other people that are joining us. We got Shelly Shirt. She's joining us tonight. Oh, Shelly, I know she loves to hear her some Macho Man. So can you do us a little example of your Macho Man there, Ryan?
Oh, yeah, Shelly. Thanks for listening in to the ManChild Chronicles Podcast on Sports Locker Magazine. Oh, yeah, dig it. We're going to rise to the cream of the crop tonight. Yeah.
I love it, and I know she will too. That is great. All right. Hey, John, how do you guys come up with all the segments for the show? I know you guys have a whole bunch of different things. I mean, you've had the greatest movies, cereal. You guys had talked about cereal, and I'll get into that here in just a moment. Controversial movies, phases of Marvel movies, and now tonight you're going to talk about something else that's going to be related to sports. But how do you guys come up with this stuff?
So honestly, we just our conversations. We just start talking, and then it just spitballs, and then it just keeps rolling to other conversations, and before you know it, it gets way out of control, and then we got to reel it back in, and all that jazz.
Oh yes, you guys, I know you do because I listen to it, and it's awesome. All right, step into a Slim
Mike is
Jim. Step into
Mike
a
is
Slim
the,
Jim.
producer of the show, and so we feel bad because there's many times we know he has his work cut out for him when he has to edit the podcast and get it ready for to be posted.
Well, that's interesting.
I mentioned it in one of our episodes, but there was like 2 or 3 episodes in a row where there was extended conversation about bathroom habits, and I had to end up editing it out because it's like, while it's all normal, you know, all that type of stuff, I was like, I'm not gonna let 10 minutes of bathroom talk be on our podcast. And so I'm sitting there on my computer like, well, okay, how do I cut here? How do I cut? And these guys stress me.
And now it's come onto this show, so it just keeps. It's the joke that keeps flowing.
They just decided, Michael. They just said, forget about you editing. We're live. We're just going to say whatever we want to. Oh, that's great.
Love you, Mikey. Love you, Mikey.
Yeah,
you guys have done an outstanding job, and we'll get to that part here in a moment about how people can get involved in that. I want to ask real quick. This is something that as I watched and listened to one of your podcasts. I say watch because you have little clips on Instagram. But you guys were talking about your favorite cereal. Jay, they were seeming to make fun of you a lot about what appeared to be an older person's cereal. You were talking about Raisin Bran and Mini Spooners being mixed. Tell us about that.
Well, look, here's the thing. So I was letting them know that the older you get, your palate matures and it changes. And Michael started making fun of me and guessed, like, he made a random guess that, oh, Jay, yeah, you look like a guy that likes Raisin Bran. And sure enough, that is my favorite cereal right now. I am totally addicted to the Raisin Bran. I actually had, I think, 3 bowls this past weekend. Can't help but
Ooh.
I can't, and I changed it up a little bit. I mixed Honey Nut Cheerios with Raisin Bran, and that was actually pretty good. And so then I did Honey Nut Cheerios with Mini Spooners, but I missed my bran too much. So I was right back to Raisin Bran and Mini Spooners. Now that's spread out over the whole weekend, not in one sitting. But yes,
The part
I
that
do.
bothers me is that it would be significantly cheaper just to order something on Amazon, shred up the box, and pour some milk over it. I don't understand why you're paying $8 to eat a bowl of dried raisins and stop
It's
with
okay.
your Raisin Bran.
It's okay.
Stop
It's
with
okay.
your Raisin Bran.
It's okay. It's all right, Michael. Michael, why don't you tell us while you were there talking? Why don't you tell us about chocolate Dino Bites?
Let me tell you something about chocolate Dino Bites, Kirk. Chocolate Dino Bites, they're the perfect size, they're the perfect consistency. They give you the crunch while there's the moisture of the milk. They have the perfect amount of chocolatiness. It's not too much as if to overwhelm your palate, but it is the perfect amount of milk chocolatiness that gives you consistency in every single bite.
The
Chocolate
consistency.
Dino Bites is what could be, not definitively, but what could be the best cereal of all time. But there is another contender, and I think John would be the perfect person to tell you about the other primary contender
Great
in the
segue.
cereal debate.
Great segue. Go ahead, John.
It trumps Raisin Bran every time. It's called
Every
Cinnamon
time.
Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon
And it is
Toast
the
Crunch.
best cereal with milk combo in the history of the world.
So, what is that cereal called at your house?
We call it daddy cereal at my house because I don't have it just 3 times over a weekend. I have it 3 times a day.
There you go.
Can't get enough of that.
And Ryan, we got to finish this out with one that absolutely you talked about just rips your mouth up. Why don't you tell us about what that is?
Kirk, there isn't a better taste in the world than peanut butter Captain Crunch. And while you're eating it, it is a joy. You're in heaven. There couldn't be a better cereal. When you're done, you just want to curl up in the fetal position and cry because the roof of your mouth is tore up. It is bad. And it's like that for 3 to 4 days afterwards. It's just not the same in the mouth anymore.
Well, you guys, those are all great selections, but I will have to say that my wife makes the absolute best homemade granola. Now, you can call it an old guy cereal. I don't care, but it's amazing. I'm just saying. Jay, you've had it, right?
Oh,
bet
it's
Jay
so
loves it.
good. It is. It's amazing.
Mix me some of that with my Raisin Bran. We're good to go.
Oh, I would be in heaven. I wish I could get some of that granola.
Yeah, she makes some good stuff. All right. We've got a couple other questions I want to ask. Ryan, you had talked about, and I did see the major disappointment that you had in this particular podcast that you guys had. Tell us about why you were disappointed about your son's middle name.
Oh, man. Kirk, this was a dark time in my life. My wife, when we were picking the name for our kids, you come up with a girl's name and a boy's name. And I asked my wife one thing, if we could name his middle name Danger. Because who would be the coolest kid and adult their whole life if they could say, "What's your name?" "My name is Lucas Danger Olson." And she didn't say no. And when we had him and the nurse came in to ask what the name was going to be, I said, "Lucas Olson." She said, "Middle name Danger." And my wife said, "No, we're not doing that name." I couldn't believe it. It was a dark day. And my
Betrayal.
son, I told my son that story, and he's like, "Come on, Mom, you got to be kidding me." He wanted that name so bad. He might change it. We'll see.
Yeah, he may. That's great. Before I go on to this last question, before our segment that we're going to go into right after this one, I do want to ask you, Ryan, what is the deal with the bandana and the sunglasses? Tell everybody about why.
Well, we did the first podcast, and I don't have a face made for the cameras. And I put this persona on. It makes me feel comfortable, and it gives us a style. And I don't know. It just works for me. That's why.
Well,
We'll let you continue to think that.
Look, guys, I'm telling you, when he's not
Is
wearing
your,
that, he's a totally different guy. It's like the mask for him. He puts on them sunglasses and bandana, and boom, you've got yourself Ryan Olsen.
Is
This
this
is only the
persona-
goalie time.
That's
My
is
why.
other
his persona Ryan Danger Olsen?
Ryan Danger
Ooh.
Olsen. There you go.
Yeah.
So
Danger's
you haven't
my middle
accidentally
name.
worn that into work, have you?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
I wouldn't be ashamed though if I did.
Absolutely not. No, I love it. Jay, I want one question for you before we move on, and this is important because it lets people know, how are you guys releasing episodes, and how can people listen?
We are releasing new episodes every Friday. Oh, look at that. That is awesome. So right there, you've got our handles for Instagram, TikTok. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can find us at the ManChild Chronicles on Instagram and at ManChild Chronicles on TikTok. So please look us up, subscribe in, and we would be honored to have you guys join us while we make fun of each other and laugh.
Very
We
good.
probably should have warned him about that.
Yeah, I was so caught off guard.
He was like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "Oh, this is way easier."
Yeah, it was. I was gonna have to try to remember it.
I forgot why I'm here.
That was
It
really
scared me.
good, though, right? I mean, it worked out awesome. Hey, we've got Jamie is on here, and she's saying, Ryan, it's your daughter, Emma. You were that because you are an awesome dad. And then she says, laugh out loud.
Yeah, awesome dad, LOL.
She's laughing right in your face, Ryan.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Ryan's like, hold on, I'll be right back.
Hold on. Let me go
Press
get
the
my
mute.
belt.
Press
Hold
the
on.
mute, Ryan.
Hey, guys, we've been having a lot of fun already, and we've got a very fun segment we're getting ready to go into. But before we do that, first of all, we wanted to get everybody to get to know you guys a little bit and then find out how they could find your podcast. It's very entertaining. I am absolutely encouraging you guys to tune in. I mean, tune in. You will not be disappointed. Anyway, thanks, guys. We're going to go ahead and do our sponsors. And, of course, Jay, you remember what your job is after we're done here, right? Gotcha.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers
and a natural disaster.
I've saved lives
and led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Not everybody is an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday type. At CNS, we have employment options for the way you want to work with our flexible scheduling program. Flexible scheduling is designed to fit your lifestyle and allows you to be in control of your schedule. CNS offers insurance plans upon employment. Celebrating 45 years of staffing, CNS Business Services.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, Jay, why don't you go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors? We really appreciate them, don't we?
Yeah, we absolutely love having our sponsors for our podcast. One Nation, a Sports Locker magazine extra. There's not enough we can say about the Missouri Army National Guard. These are people who have dedicated their lives to serving their country, and we are so thankful for them and all that they do. The statistics say that 5% of the nation has that feeling, that calling, that they want to go serve the country, but less than 1% act on it. So I'm telling you, if you have that calling, if you have that feeling inside, you are wanting to serve your country and you're trying to find a way to do it, contact the Missouri Army National Guard. They will help you start that journey, and they are just wonderful people to work with. And then our other sponsor, absolutely love working with CNS Business Services. They have been with us since day one. They have been in your community for over 45 years. They are getting people connected to the right companies. If you're looking for a job, you need flexible scheduling, you need that help, get with CNS Business Services. They will make sure that your core values line up with this company that you want to work with, and they will help you every step of the way. We can't say enough good things about our sponsors.
They are absolutely just a wonderful part and being partners with this program. I did want to point out real quick, Jay, we've got a link here that Michael has posted in the comments. So make sure that you check that out in the comments, and that will get you to the ManChild Chronicles podcast. Before I bring you guys on into this next segment, Michael put something else pretty cool together. So it's going to lead right in, and Jay, you take it from there, okay?
Sounds awesome.
It's draft time.
Did you hear that, men? It's draft time.
It's draft time.
I heard it already.
Now, hold on. Before we move on. How come you don't talk that good on our show, Jay? Like,
what are you talking about?
What are you doing? Like, you do this great sponsors bit, and you can talk right. You sound beautiful. How come you don't do that on our show? Like, you actually use some like $5 words in that thing. Like, why you been holding out on us, man?
Hey, and you know what? I just do that right off the top of the old head here every week. I just throw it together, and then any other time I have to talk, yeah, total.
It's because I'm his father-in-law, and he doesn't want to disappoint. That's all I have to say.
There it is.
That's it.
There it is.
It's for our sponsors. It's for our sponsors.
It's I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's draft time.
It's
draft time.
I almost want to play the bumper again.
I really want to know what our draft order is, Mike.
Well, let me tell you what's the draft order? Do we know what we're drafting tonight, too? Did we talk about that?
Ryan, why don't you bring us into it?
We are going to do the all-time sports movies draft tonight, gentlemen. Michael,
now, Jay,
get us an order, and I want number one pick.
Okay, Jay, why don't you explain to those watching who may not be familiar with, a fictitious draft like this, what this is and what it means?
Well, just to clear it up, you said fictitious. This is real. This is nonfiction.
This is real life.
This is real life. This is not
the stakes have
fake.
never been higher.
So what we're gonna do is Mike's gonna get our draft order while I'm talking, and we just do a regular snake draft. So we'll all get assigned a number 1 through 4, and so we'll pick 1 through 4, and then 4 through 1, and then 1 through 4, and then 4 through 1, and we are all gonna each take 4 picks that we think is the greatest sports movies of all time, and we'll see who has the best list by the end of it, and we all know it's going to be me. I win most of these, so just tune in so you can always agree.
I don't know. Okay, drafting order is as follows. Ryan Olson, you have number 2. John Gill, you have number 1.
No.
Jay Gill, you have number 3, which leaves Michael at number 4.
Oh, I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. Now, for everybody listening, go ahead and leave who you think has the best draft, and maybe follow us on Instagram, and we'll have the draft picks up there.
I should be a nice guy and leave the.
You're on the clock for the 101 best sports movie.
I should be a
John
nice guy.
John has forfeited his pick.
And leave it for you, right, Ryan?
Oh, that'd be so nice.
I should be a nice guy. Have you known me to be a nice guy so far on this podcast?
Nope, you always take my pick.
To me, there is only one defined movie and multiple movies franchise is a true number 1 best sports movie of all time. It started in 1976. Was nominated for 10 Academy Awards. We're talking about Rocky. Number 1. $1.7 billion gross at the worldwide box office. One of my favorite movies, one of the best series in all of sports entertainment.
The best series in sports entertainment. That is the Clear 101. Congratulations, John, for not messing that up and breaking
the
my
draft
heart.
over now?
It pretty much is. Well, after the 101, I don't think there is a clear 102. So I am going to, with my pick a movie that is near and dear to me. I love football. So I want to get the best football movie that I think there is out there. And that is Remember the Titans. Love me some Herman Boone. Love that show. Gets me every time when I watch it. I just want to run, sprint as fast as I can up and down the block after I watch that show. It is fantastic.
I mean, it's okay. I'm not going to say that it's worthy of the number 2 spot, but
I mean, it
It
doesn't
was
have
clearly the number 2 pick. I had it written down. I was hoping, Ryan, you were going to pick some 70s, 80s
Chariots
show.
of Fire. I was going to take number 1.
I was waiting for him to come out clutch and be like, Gladiator!
I was hoping he was going to pick something off the wall. He did not. So, man, all right, good pick, Ryan.
Jay, you were on the clock.
It's funny. After we were talking earlier about if you can take, more than just the one Rocky movie, if it's going to be the whole series, and we did decide on if you pick Rocky, it's going to be the whole series. I was watching an interview. It just all of a sudden popped up on Facebook because obviously the phones are listening to us, and it was Sylvester Stallone doing an interview. And I had totally forgotten about this, but the guy's interviewing him like back in 1976, and they're like, "So they were trying to pay you to not be in this movie, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, they were paying me to not be in it." And they were like, they offered you $285,000, and Sylvester Stallone's like, "Yeah." And at the end of the day, if you've never had that type of money, you're not going to miss it. And so I just told them no. Like I would, the more I sat down and thought about it, I would have a bigger regret later in my life knowing that I turned it down and didn't even try versus if I would just try it and see what happens. And so super inspiring story all around. I love the Rocky series and Sylvester Stallone.
Which is
so
why
with
you're
that
picking
being,
what?
Which is why for number 3, I am just going to go ahead and take the Creed series off the board. I think Creed was one of the greatest original movie, but yet not original, like a follow-up off of Rocky. It did such an honor to Sylvester Stallone, and it's one of my favorite boxing movies. So I'm taking Creed.
All right.
Mike?
All right.
Back to back for
All right.
Mikey.
Back-to-back picks for Mikey. All right, let's see here. I think that I'm going to have to go with the greatest, potentially the greatest, underdog story of all time, where you're just seeing failure after failure after failure, miss after miss after miss. But this guy would not give up, and his name is Rudy. His name is Rudy.
Rudy.
All right. For my second pick, I'm going to go with a really heartfelt movie that showed us a lot about family dynamics, taught us how to get along, and also how to beat the snot out of each other. I'm going to go with Warrior.
Ooh,
Wow.
Love me some Warrior. Great movie.
Wow. Mike, you are coming out swinging.
He'll mess it up. Don't worry. He always does.
Was Matt Damon in any sports movies?
Yeah, there's one. I won't tell you. I'll let you look that one up. Man, I was really hoping to have Warrior. If not on this pick, in the next one. I didn't think you guys would have it high on your list, so very disappointing, but that's an awesome movie, one of my favorites. For my second pick, I will take another football movie that I really enjoy. I just love the story that's told, and it's done in a very sweet way. My kids love it. I am going to take The Blind Side.
Interesting.
Mm.
Let me check my list. Nope, didn't make my list. But good pick.
Oh, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. You're watching the wrong movies then.
Michael Orr does not approve of your pick.
Yes, he does. Michael Orr has come out and said he's a big fan of what that movie has done.
Maybe when it first came out.
All right, well, I guess that puts me back on the clock. Wow,
Right,
so many
you're on the
good picks here. I really thought my 4 first ones would be taken by now, and they're not. In my top 5 picks, I have 2 golfing movies. So I'm going to pick one of those 2, right meow, and I'm going to go with, it's really tough because I love them both, but I got to know who I'm drafting with here. So I'm picking Happy Gilmore for pick number 2. Great golf movie, Happy Gilmore.
John, you're on the clock. Double pick.
Ooh, back to back. I'm surprised too because I always write out my drafts round 1 and I have 4 options. Then round 2, 4 options. So I always have a flow. Like I'll always have one of those 4 picks in my head. So far, all 4 of my picks are wrote down for round 1.
And
I
yet
took Rocky, and I
somehow,
have
and yet
all 3
somehow my
others.
picks are still always better than yours. I don't know how that ends up.
Yeah, I don't think so, Mike. I guess for round 2, I'm going to take another high school football movie based on a Pulitzer Prize winning novel. It was released in 2004, grossed $62 million at the box office, 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a great sports drama film, but Peter Berg directed it. It's Friday Night Lights.
Mm-hmm. Better TV show, in my opinion.
For some reason, that movie really just captured the essence of high school football drama in Michael's state of Texas.
God bless Texas.
God
For
bless
my
Texas.
For my next pick, I gotta take a personal favorite of mine. It's a movie that I watch all the time. I don't know why it is so powerful or good to me, but that is Moneyball, released in 2011. 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, 75 million at the box office. The movie is about life just as much as it is about baseball. The directing, the writing, Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill, everything in that movie is just top notch in my opinion.
Yeah, we get it. It's a good pick. Stop rubbing it in.
Who says you can't get romantic about baseball?
Ryan, you're on the clock.
Well, John, that was a good pick. It is actually my 3rd baseball movie on here, but it was a nice pick. And I'm going to go with
Ryan
the
has
baseball.
forfeited his pick.
I'm going to go with a baseball pick as well. And boy, what a classic. How can you not watch this movie once a year before baseball comes out?
Don't
Ton
you do
of
it.
one-liners.
Don't you
Very
do it.
funny. Oh,
Don't
I'm
do
going
it.
Major League. Major League.
So you're also taking Major League 2 and Major League back to the minors, correct?
You can throw as many bad sequels as you want. Major League trumps it all. That's all you need.
You know, I found it funny that you guys were like trying to say all these box office revenues and then talk about your pick, and you guys were talking bad about Blindside when it grossed more than both movies you guys are picking combined. So appreciate that. Thank you.
Jay, it may be about
Really
the
do.
money for you, but for us, it's about
No.
the love of the game. Okay.
No, it was not about the money, which is why I'm just shocked that
I mean,
they're,
you're
you
the
know,
one talking
ragging
about
it
money
so
right
hard.
now, Jay.
Hey, I'm just bringing out facts. That's all I can do.
You're just
All right,
like
for
Sandra Bullock.
Dude, amen to that. Thank you. That is, wow. And let me just say this real quick. I got to get this
Nope.
off my chest. That is
I'm
such
your
a
father-in-law
compliment.
on here. Hello.
That is such a compliment, and I mean, to be such a powerful person. So I just got to say, I very much appreciate that. You completely insulted Sandra Bullock, but you complimented me, so I just want you to know that. All right. So if I have to pick my third movie, I am going to take the whole series. One of my absolute favorites. I can't believe Ryan didn't pick it. It's on his shirt. I am taking The Karate Kid, and I love all of the sequels that have come off of that, and the TV series Cobra Kai. I'll take it all. The Karate Kid.
I was hoping that'd be other for my last pick, but
No
solid
way.
pick.
No way.
Danielson.
Thank you, Danielson.
Are you taking the reboot too with Jaden Smith?
It's actually one of my favorites. Jackie Chan in that? Oh, absolutely. That's a fan favorite right there. It's a great movie.
And the Hillary Swank.
As a kid, part 3, the next Karate Kid. That's actually one that I really love. Oh, part 4.
You don't even know the series, Jay. You don't get that pick. You don't even know the series.
You don't be mad. I got it. Don't be mad. I got it.
Mike, you are on the clock.
I am on the clock. All right, double pick to round out my list. Okay, so I had 2 really serious movies. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit, but I'm having a hard time because there are several good picks still left on the board. Okay, I know what I'm going to pick, though. All right. For my number 3 pick, I have no idea how it made it this long. And by it making this long, the only thing I have to say to you guys is, you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. I'm going to go with The Sandlot as pick number 3.
Love it.
And
Mike, you're impressing me here. I know you're going to take something terrible here, though. You gotta stay on brand, Mike.
Gotta stay on brand. There's 3 left that I really want to pick, and it's killing me right now because I'm having a hard time picking. But I need to follow my heart because this movie took us on the ups and downs of excitement, awe, wonder, complete amazement, followed by heartbreak.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, it is an emotional roller coaster ride, and that movie is Air Bud.
I knew it. There it is.
Hey, I don't care. We can laugh all day, but man, as a kid, when you were watching Air Bud, you were in the zone. I remember watching that. That's funny.
I couldn't.
And you're taking all of the sequels that have came from that too, right?
Absolutely.
I am
All
taking
75 of
every
them.
single one of the sequels. Air Bud 17, Basketball on Mars.
I could not make it through.
Did you
Air
run
Bud.
into somebody on Mars, Mike?
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks, Mike. I do appreciate that. Now I'm really torn on my last. Oh, Mike, yeah. Let's have you recap.
Yeah. To recap my list, I'm going with Rudy. I'm going with Warrior, The Sandlot, and Air Bud for the greatest sports movies of all time.
All right. With my 4th pick, I am very much torn between 2, but there's one that's been around much longer and turned into just an instant classic. Absolutely love this movie. Very inspiring. I am taking Miracle. Love that movie. Love Kurt Russell. Love the story of beating the Russians. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
The best hockey movie right there.
Yep, best hockey movie. So that leaves me with my 4 picks. I have the Creed series, I have The Blind Side, I have the Karate Kid series, and I have Miracle. I also think I have the number 1 draft. So there you go, folks.
Very serious draft there. Very serious. You made it easy for me because I was debating between Miracle and another classic. Well, I already have football. I have golf. I have baseball. So I'm going to finish mine out with a little basketball. And we're going to go with the classic Hoosiers. We all love some Gene Hackman and Hoosiers. Great movie. A lot of ups and downs in that movie. That's a good one. So my 4, Remember the Titans, Happy Gilmore, Major League, and Hoosiers. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
It's really not, though. It's really
it's
not.
just
though.
not.
It is, trust me.
It's cute that you think it is, though.
Oh, it is. It is, bud.
All
John, you're
right.
on the clock.
He's struggling.
Let's
I can see his face when he's trying to
Stalling.
Hoosiers was the last pick on my round 1 draft. I was like, I'm gonna have that fall to me. This is amazing.
This is
Nope.
amazing.
Not with an old man like Ryan. Come on.
Nope.
Ryan Seinfeld me here. I'm going to take a movie released in 2010. It was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Writing, Best Director, and 4 different acting categories. Had a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's based on the true story of Mickey Ward and his brother Dickie Eklund and his entire family rising to the tops of the boxing ring. The Fighter.
There's just lots of
Yeah, that's all it deserves.
I had to write in a lot of these tonight, guys. You
Didn't
guys
make the list. Didn't make the list.
John,
do we have time for honorable mentions?
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
We've got a couple of we have some people actually commenting too. John, but first, John, tell us your list.
Oh, the Rocky series, Friday Night Lights, Moneyball, and The Fighter.
Okay. All right. And while we are waiting on this honorable mentions, we do have some people that have made some comments on here that some
Awesome.
movies they thought, like Space Jam was one, and Trouble with the Curve.
That's a good one.
Let's be clear on Space Jam. Are they referring to the Michael Jordan version or the LeBron James version?
Of course, it's the Jordan one.
There is only one in my heart. I just had to confirm.
We have to ask.
And you are a LeBron James fan, so for you to say that must really speak something right there, Jay.
Yeah, not a good movie. I'll tell you that. Not a good movie.
So we've got you guys some honorable mentions. If you guys don't mention a few, I've got a couple that I'll mention after you go. But some good movies, I think that I mean, there's so many out there. You got to go really way old school to mention this one. I mean, this was a tearjerker back in the day. Some of you guys may not have seen it, but Ryan's Song.
Yep.
Ryan's Song. Oh yeah.
Ryan's Song.
That is an old one.
It is an old one. That's right.
Man, you are aging yourself, Dad.
That's
Don't
okay.
worry about that.
You know, at least it wasn't back during silent movies. Okay, thank you.
All right, 3 honorable mentions, boys.
John, you went first.
I'm going to give my 3 honorables to documentaries because I think there's a lot of good documentaries about sports. One is Hoop Dreams, came out in the 90s. It was a very popular documentary that came out about the Chicago urban teens trying to get a basketball scholarship. The other 2 aren't really movies, but I want to give a shout out to them. They were ESPN 30 for 30s. The first one's called Survive and Advance. It's basically the Jim Valvano story. Very good documentary. And the next one's called Unguarded. It's the Chris Herron story. It's about his struggle with drugs while he was in a professional playing career in basketball and how he overcame it. Both very good documentaries to check out.
Well, we had while you were talking there and going over your documentaries, we had a comment from somebody, which I'm glad they asked what the arm wrestling movie was because it is on my list. And it is one of my honorable mentions. Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. What a great movie about a father and a son.
That's right.
He wants to get custody of his son, and what's better to do that than driving on the road in an 18-wheeler and going to an arm wrestling tournament?
That's awesome.
2 other honorable mentions. I can't not mention the second greatest hockey movie of all time, The Mighty Ducks.
Boom.
Love that movie. Great series. Go love me some Coach Bombay. And for my third one, I'm going to have to mention my other top 5 in golfing, Caddyshack. Love that movie. Very hilarious.
It's in the hole.
After the draft, there's always some regret, as if you should have picked different picks. I don't experience that often. I know you guys do, but
you're not going in front of me, are you there, Mike?
Yeah, I was going to, but I guess you can.
Why? Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy.
I like where he was rolling with this, though.
I don't want you to take my honorables. Listen, bud, you were fourth. Deal with it. So, and you're number 2 in my heart. Okay, so for my honorable mentions, I will mention one of my favorite baseball movies, the movie of Jackie Robinson, 42. Chadwick Boseman's in it. Love that movie. Great one. I will also bring up what I thought was a fantastic football movie for back when I was a kid, but I always enjoyed watching Keanu Reeves in The Replacements. That is a very rewatchable movie. Gene Hackman as the coach, and very funny. Finally, I will have to give another shout out to Adam Sandler, but this is a newer movie that just came out. Thought he did this was one of the best comedies, yet really intense, and some good drama in it. Hustle on Netflix. I thought that was a great movie. So that's my 3 honorable mentions.
Yep.
I have to give a shout out to some of the more the really kid-friendly, lighthearted movies. Got to go with Rookie of the Year. Fantastic baseball movie. I got to go with Little Giants. You got to get you some Rick Moranis in your life. And then I'm going to go with a diversity pick of a nice ping pong movie, Balls of Fury. Love me some good ping pong movies. So,
all right, those are good, guys. I've got a few that I'm going to mention. You may or may not like them, but what about The Rookie?
Yep,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dennis
Dennis
Quaid.
Quaid, yep.
I really like that
Oh
one.
yeah.
And I really enjoyed this one too, Woodlawn.
That was good. Is that Sean Astin?
Sean Astin. Yep, absolutely. Yep. That was good. When the Game Stands Tall. And that's Jim Caviezel.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm not necessarily an animal lover, but what about Seabiscuit?
Seabiscuit.
Got to bring up Seabiscuit.
If we've got Airbud on here, we've got to have Seabiscuit. Right? Come on. If there's a cat
Good job,
movie, I'm
Dad.
sure somebody's got that. All right, that's good. Hey, Jay, you guys, this was a great program. I appreciate you being on here. We have literally almost run out of time. Why don't you guys make any final comments that you would about the podcast, and again, remind how they can find you, and just tell a little bit about some of the future programming you're doing.
Ryan, that's all you, bud. Take it away.
Oh, thanks, Jay. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, as we said earlier in the show, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at ManChild Chronicles. You can also follow or find us and listen to us on Spotify, Apple, and Google for podcasting. Some future shows. We're going to do a lot of drafts. We got the all-time cartoon draft coming up for kid cartoons. We have the all-time villain draft coming up, so listen to that. We're also going to be doing little mini episodes with some fantasy football in there. And I would love to be on your guys' show for the 3rd year running to talk little fantasy football, if you guys would like.
I think that was a plan for possibly next week, right?
It is next week.
I was just teasing the episode, Kirk.
Okay, thank you.
Good job, Brian. You teased him. You scared him. He thought,
I just confirmed. Remember? I thought,
he's like turning around, looking at his calendar, like, did I email him?
We are going to have our first mini sports episode with a fantasy football mock draft. So keep a lookout for that. It'll be real good.
Yeah,
that's great. Very good. Mike, any comments that you have?
Yeah, ManChild Chronicles is a really lighthearted show. In our intro bumper, we say that we talk about entertainment, fatherhood, and sports. And so there's a great diversity of content. We would love to invite you guys to join us for a new episode every Friday. You'll get everything from movies to TV to breakfast cereals to the happenings of our daily stuff at work and the things we encounter and funny stories with our kids. And you'll get some sports in there as well. And so we would encourage you to join us as we kind of trek down the path of life and enjoy all the funny together.
Awesome. Mr. John Gill.
It's just really about 4 friends having a good time, guys, and we just want you all to join in on the conversation. It's just us getting together and laughing. So listen, hop in on the conversations, comment on the social media pages.
Very good. And, you know, John and Jay, I was not going to have your mom pick which one of the drafts she liked better. I think she was just going to have to say tie. But, you know, I didn't want to throw that out there. Just saying.
She would pick Rocky.
No, Mom, I just want you to remember, don't. John also picked movies you don't like, so remember that, and think of me. And I picked all the movies we would watch together. Love you, Mom.
Mama, who's your baby?
All right, that is great.
Who's your emotional support animal? Me.
All right. Hey, guys, you know what? We have Monday nights, One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. As Mr. Ryan had pointed out, next week we're going to be talking some fantasy football. So excited to have that. This is the 3rd year that we're doing that, isn't it, Ryan?
That's right.
All right. Very good. There's another program that I want to tell you guys that's coming up here pretty soon. We're getting ready to have a concert right here in Jeff City, and it's Redemption Inside the Walls. And this year our artist is Rend Collective. And we are excited about being able to have them on this program on Monday, September 5th. So excited to have them on there. Make sure you guys join us for that. But again, remember, next week, probably even bigger than that, is the fantasy football program that we've got with Jay and Ryan. And if any of these guys want to join, you guys feel free to jump in too. But that's up to Jay and Ryan. I'll just leave that to them. And then make sure you guys join them for their Friday episodes of the ManChild Podcast. Jay, why don't you close us out?
Hey, Kirk, you did a great job telling One Nation where they can find us. If you're not too sick of me and you want to keep listening, I'm telling you, we have a really fun time, and we'd love to have you join on the ManChild Chronicles. This is it, folks. We've definitely gone over time. We appreciate you all hanging in there with us. This is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. That's your host, the Ball the Eagle. And I'm the co-host, Jay. We appreciate you guys. Love you. Have a great week. God bless.
Hey, guys, thanks for joining us. God bless you all. We'll see you next week.